Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, Manchester United 2, Fulham 1. As predicted, bloody hard work, wasn't it? Bloody hard work. Won at the end with a brilliant goal from Alejandro Garnacho. What a player. The guy's just delivering, isn't he? What's that you want? Goals and assists. Got you. Wow. Kid's on fire. Kid's absolutely on fire. Justifying his selection and justifying Erik ten Hag's potentially harsh treatment of him in the summer. Whatever they did, whatever they discussed, it's just put him right on the straight and narrow. Great question there from Notch. How does this compare to seeing Giggs at 17? There's comparisons. I think as a player, his style is more Kanchelski's than Giggs. But there's a dirty little side to him, isn't it? He's effective. He's coming in, he's providing goals and assists. Bosh. And yeah, let's not forget the penalty man. I don't know what Gary Neville was watching. I don't know how you come in and trip somebody up without touching the ball and then take the ball afterwards and go, what, I got the ball. Of course you got the ball. You've just you've just Haragoshi'd the geezer that was in possession, mate. That's not how it works. So yeah, could have had a penalty, should have had a penalty. Gets the winning goal in Fergie time. Wow. Outside of that, you can say it was a poor performance, and you probably have a point in saying it was a poor performance because it was disappointing. But Fulham have been very, very good this season, and there's a reason they're in the top half of the table. They are a frustrating side. Silva has got them playing. They press high, and I thought they identified United's weakness in doing that. Really hit us high. For the first half, I thought Pereira was good. Second half, not so much. First half, Andreas Pereira was a bloody handful for us. Obviously, we got caught in a transition again. I would say I think Ten Hag's going to work on that, but he might just say, do you know what? Call it a day. Off to the World Cup you pop. Work on some stuff with some people who were left behind. Because I think literally the lads are probably getting a shower, talking the spuds, and then getting on a plane well, I say somewhere to the Middle East, obviously. But yeah, like a frustrating game, a tactically interesting game, which I will enjoy. Maybe on a train tomorrow down to London. I'll have a quick watch about that again, just to see some of the real interesting bits. Really tactically interesting. What Fulham are doing is a blueprint for a lot of people. They're playing a shape that teams that get promoted shouldn't be able to play with the level of play that they've got playing it, and it's somehow extremely effective. And they managed to play a high press and a low block at the same time. And there ain't many teams that can pull that off. A lot of the time, you're going to see teams try and dominate the ball in the opposition half, and that's about it. You don't often see a team capable. Oh, I just realised I've not got the internet plugged in. We are on Wi-Fi, which is susceptible to just absolutely shit in the bed at any moment. So hopefully this hasn't skipped yet, but it could. So hopefully that's going to fix it off. So yeah, I thought very, very tactically interesting game. I do like to watch it back without the commentary because, especially when it's Sky, Gary Neville pissed me off today. His commentary just pissing me off today. I was watching stuff and I'm thinking, well, I don't agree, and that doesn't happen often. But I don't like it because I think a lot of people are led by the commentators. So when I see something that I think is just obviously wrong, like the penalty shout, you see so many people go, well, it wasn't a penalty. And they say it with a bass in their voice because Gary Neville's just said it on commentary, especially the ABU lot. But you go, well, no. Listen, right? By the laws of the game, he was tripped, he was impeded, that is a penalty. And then, my man's just scored the winner in Fergie time after coming on as a substitute, and you want to start talking about attitude. Why are we talking about the guy's attitude? Here's the attitude. Winning attitude. That's the only attitude you need to start talking about in these circumstances. What's his attitude, Steve? The guy's an absolute winner. he's coming on, his single-mindedness is like, guess what, mate? I am having it, and I am going to score a goal. Watch this, right? Score a winner? Yeah, no problem. Wow. So I dislike it because I see a lot of people parrot that. And it was a penalty. And like, you know, does Garnacho have an attitude problem? Yeah. Does Lionel Messi have an attitude problem? Yeah. Does Cristiano Ronaldo have an attitude problem? Yeah. You know, Gary Neville might not have done, but I guarantee Ryan Giggs did. I know Paul Scholes did. You know, and pretty much every single legend that Manchester United have ever had a little bit of an ego. You know, from Cantona to Brian Robson. Now, Brian Robson might have had it in a different way, but he definitely had one. He knew how good he was. He knew how good he was. Roy Keane had an ego. Yeah, Brian, you might have nailed it there. Neville's trying a bit too hard to be neutral. Manda says, comparing Messi to this kid, lol. I know, imagine trying to compare Garnacho to that little dweeb that's played for Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain. It's just not fair on Messi, is it? Auto Ego says, not at 18 years old. Maybe some of them didn't at 18, but some of them definitely did. Cristiano Ronaldo at 18 absolutely had an attitude, 100%. He absolutely 100% did. Barnes says, when am I going to the World Cup? We've had our flights confirmed. We are going Friday. Yeah, Friday we're going. So looking forward to that one. Charlie Alpha Lima says, again, the lads were tired, but our finishing is poor. Ericsson could have had 2. McTominay missed a sitter as well. We need that clinical striker. Ahmed says, be my guest when you come to Qatar. Hit me up on Instagram if you're out in Qatar. We might do a meet-up or something along those lines once I get my feet under the table and figure out what's what and where's where and all that sort of stuff. David says, most excited I've been since Rooney. Well, that was a player who had ego as well. MB Creator says, you want to know why Ten Hag puts Bruno on the right? Maybe ask the Portuguese and sporting managers why too. I'm not sure what he means by that, but okay. Garnacho just made the Fulham right back look like he had the pace of Maguire. Alan says, any video on Klopp? Man United lucky to have Martinez that can build up from the back and link players, says T. That's very good. Most players could have played the ball away due to pressure and that game could have ended 1-1. Interesting point. Brian says the impact Garnacho's having is similar to when Ronaldo arrived. Fergie couldn't leave him out. Yeah. And Le Champion there saying, what position do you think we need to build in the winter window? In the winter window, we 1,000% need a striker. And I think today, do you know what? I put Malacia on the right in my preview, and it was almost because of a lack of options, to be honest. If I'm on United's first team staff this week, I'm getting on the phone to Ethan Laird and be like, listen, Ethan, what are you doing? How's London? Yeah, anyway, do you fancy coming back to Manchester? Got a new contract for you. That's what they need to do. Dale says, all right, Steve Denton, massive here again. Do you still think we need a striker in January? Do you think we could wait till summer? No, I think this season could derail. As we almost saw today, this season could derail if we do not get a striker in. I think it's that serious. I think if you don't get a striker in, you're probably going to draw games that you could and should win. Tino says, loving what Ten Hag is doing, but getting frustrated with the negative subs when in control, just want another goal, and Garnacho to wear 7 or 11 next season. Both might be open. I tend to agree with the subs. I certainly don't disagree. I'm not sitting here going, what you're on about, your subs are very positive. That's not the case, obviously. That's clearly not the case. But what I might say is, do we have the substitutions at his disposal to try and go for it? He threw Garnacho on with whatever he threw Garnacho on. But like the rest of the subs, are they negative because that's all he's got or all he trusts? Or are they negative because he wants to impact the game in a negative or defensive style? I don't necessarily see United trying to close the game out at 1-1 I actually think he was trying to elicit more control and didn't actually get that control with what he brought on because of that's what he had. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Slayer Rock says Malassia's form is on a worrying trajectory. I just don't think he knows the angles on the right-hand side. Which people are like, does that mean he runs slower? No, it doesn't, but it can impact. You're talking 1% marginal gains here in this. Fiberman says Scott slapped, then unfollowed by Richard Osman. Just made my week. Greetings from Oman. Hey, I liked Oman. I visited Oman when I was in the army, and it was one of my favourite trips. It was awesome. Cavell says, has Argentina replaced Lo Celso? I'm not aware of what's going on here. Is Lo Celso injured? Does that mean that Garnacho might get a sniff? That would be a turn up for the Bucks, wouldn't it? Notches thought the subs were very good today. Need a little bit more in midfield later in the game. Darius says, why is defensive seen as negative? Here's something I've noticed, right? When the instinct is to go for it and throw on another forward, sometimes what happens is you will... Everything you do has a yin and a yang, right? So if you can... Sometimes if you're pushing and trying to score a goal, actually putting a midfielder on for a forward who's actually tired and not moving as much as he should do gives you more of a platform to build from and gets you closer to the goal and maybe even opens up in the defence. It's counterintuitive, but it's kind of how it works. Now, it wouldn't work to the extreme, like, all right, well, I'm going to play 10 at the back and watch how good I am going forward. That wouldn't work. But sometimes those little bits of sort of counterintuitive movements actually open up things that you don't expect. It's like when you throw loads of people forward, you think you're going to have loads of opportunities getting forward, but who's going to play the ball forward to all the people that are forward? And then you lose control in the centre of the park, and now what do we do? Is there anything in the rumours of Maguire being sold? I haven't seen those rumours. I would expect there's got to be. Like, he's clearly fit. He's off to the World Cup this week. He's clearly fit. He's just clearly not fancied. IR says Garnacho would be such an asset to Argentina, even to throw on the kid from the bench. Like, here's what you got to ask yourself if you're Argentina. And all jokes aside, because I know I've been saying like they haven't had a good winger in forever. Argentina probably got one of the strongest squads at the tournament. You got to look at Garnacho and go, right, okay, this is Messi's last World Cup, I would presume, unless they're just going to wheel him out no matter what happens in 4 years' time. I would presume this is the last one where Messi is able to be Messi-level effective. And there's a couple of other players that are on the wrong side of 30 as well for Argentina, particularly, I think, in the forwards, maybe midfield too. And you've got to ask yourself, okay, at 22, do we expect Garnacho to be a regular for Argentina? If the answer is yes, if the Argentinian staff, probably not going to be there then because they've hired and fired a handful of those. But if they expect that Garnacho's going to feature going forward, then him getting valuable experience at this one and maybe not even coming off the bench, just being around the squad and getting that additional training. He's not played loads. He's not got 50 games under his belt in the calendar year. Like, I don't think it would harm his progress to be doing that sort of training. So I think it would be a very positive move to take him, whether he plays or not. Have I seen Maguire's magazine cover? I have, and I'll just say that. No comment. Richard says, shame Arsenal won. I was watching last night, and I didn't tweet it. I put it in the group chat, and I said, I'm torn here between saying Arsenal look good, because they genuinely did look good, or Wolves look shit, because that was also true. But Wolves could have done them a couple times. Notch says Argentina did that to Maradona in 78. Did they now? Was he only 18 in 78? And he ended up playing, and he did quite well, didn't he, in the end? But yeah, Rich says, shame Arsenal won. Your trip to Qatar is going to be long if I'm sat next to Joel. I would like to be at the opposite end of that plane. Well, I'm with him tomorrow. We're doing the last Vibe with Five tomorrow morning in London. So I'm up early doors tomorrow. Matthew says, with more teams playing expansive football, leaving gaps behind, can't wait to see a front three of Anthony, Rashford and Garnacho if we can't get a 9 in Jan. And Brazil did that to R9 in 2004. 2004, you mean 1994, I think. Yeah, 1994, R9 did go but didn't feature. He had braces on, if I remember right. Ralph says, my thoughts on Ten Hag letting Fred's contract run out as per Jamie Jackson. I'm all for it. If he don't fancy him, he don't fancy him. Manchester United recently, as we know, as we're still dealing with some of those, hi Phil Jones, had this policy of just extending people's contracts because they had a monetary value alongside the contract's worth, and they could put that into some accounting software, and that's the problem. MUFC Matt says, which player am I most looking forward to watching at the World Cup? Do you know what? I've only just started doing the previews and started watching international teams. All this week you'll be seeing international previews coming out from me. So obviously keep your eyes peeled for those and let me know what you think of those. At the moment, I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking France, Brazil, Argentina. One of them's going to win it. I'm going to Qatar, right? Says I. Yes, me and Ronaldo are going, and we go on Friday. Prince says, I missed your super chat. Sorry, mate. My mouse isn't working. It's plugged in on charge here. It's hard work scrolling through everything when the mouse don't work. Netherlands will win the World Cup. I don't think you will, to be honest. Ed says, if we can't get anyone to buy and we can't get any players to mutually terminate, then F it and let it run out. Beyond says Premier League after the World Cup will be absolutely carnage come January and February. You better believe. Like I'm bored of hearing myself say this, but we have no idea what's going to happen to it. We have literally no idea. Some players will come back by the end of the group stage. Just fucking shit show, innit? Ed says, Brazil faves, would love to see Argentina versus Portugal for the final, right, the GOAT's final chapters. See, I think a lot of people put far too much weight on the World Cups because of the rarity of them. Hi. I'm doing a video. You want to come and say hello? All right, we got. I need a toilet. Okay, go on. You saying hello to everybody? Hi. Say hi. Hi. All right, see you in a bit. I need a toilet. Go on then. No, you're not. IR says only Apple can sell a mouse that charges from the bottom. I think I heard someone mention that if they left it where you could still use it, then people will just use it plugged in all the time, and that's not the aesthetic that they want. Dev says thoughts on the impact Bruno's comments the World Cup will have on his experience there. I haven't seen those comments, so apologies. Abhinav, where's that super chat? These super chats aren't showing up. Sorry, lads. Let me just see if I can see any. Abhinav, Argentina didn't take Maradona in 78. Oh, did it not? Why do we make really bad decisions all together after conceding a goal? It's frustrating. Sometimes it's confidence. People get rattled after they concede goals. It's one of those, isn't it? When is she playing football? She's already started. Has she learned any trademark swear words yet? No, I don't know how. I have no idea how. Arush says $92 for a beer in Qatar. See, I'm lucky. One of Janine's friends, one of my wife's friends, lives out there. She's an English school teacher. So for all of the bullshit press that we've been seeing, we've just been sending her and going, true, not true, 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 true. Okay, true. What about this one? True, not true. The £80 a pint one, yeah, I mean, that's one bar. I guess that's what they're doing. But apparently there's loads of pubs inside hotels that aren't that much. Raymondo says, still concerned about our poor finishing. I think that's why we've got to bring in another striker, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I thought Casemiro started the game really well today, but then faded a little bit. Ishmael says, feel guilty for not celebrating Garnacho's winner, but I was so pissed that I was missing all those chances. How could you not celebrate it? Majafit says, why are United playing long balls against Fulham? Hey, did we get the win? Do we normally play long ball, or did we just do what we had to do to get the win? There we go. Alex says, Garnacho reminds me of Giggs bursting on the scene. Certain starter now. JD and Coke says, did you get your miles done? I did. It's been a bloody hard week. I actually fell asleep at half time. I fell asleep at half time, but that little power nap absolutely did me good. So yeah, I was up at 6 this morning to go and get them done and get myself over to the parade in town for 11. So yeah, I'm done now. So my feet get a rest, thankfully. So I'm going to do nothing this week. No gym, no walking, jack shit. I had McDonald's and a milkshake today. Happy days. But yeah, I give myself till probably Saturday now. I'm going to try and find a gym in Qatar, and I'm going to start running while we're in Qatar, because now I've got to get my 2K time nice and low. Got to get it under 8 minutes. It's about 9:19 at the moment, so I need to get it under. Yeah, Blake has been to Soccer Tots, and she's very competitive and very brave. She's doing that in gymnastics at the moment. And she's absolutely fearless and a little bit of a nutter, to be honest. So she might end up enjoying it. Arman says, Steve said you're going to come watch the smaller teams in Qatar, show Iran some love. Look, I'm going to go to every single, like, is it like Cameroon, Switzerland? I've actually started to try and plot out some of the games that I might be able to get to. But yeah, I absolutely want to be getting to those. I'm going to try and tick off as many games as I can. Somebody says, running in the heat of Qatar. Yes, absolutely running in the heat of Qatar. It's only heat. Am I going to train with Rio? So, I believe, I had a chocolate milkshake, Steve. The only ones you can have. I believe there is a plan for some of Rio's vlogs to be me, Rio, and Joel training together. Now, my plan is to make that little thing the worst day of their lives. So if they're going to try and do some sort of a fitness challenge, I don't think that they understand. Look, Rio's not done cardio in 10 years. He's just done Hollywood muscles. The guy looks great, but he's just doing weights, right? I don't know what sort of engine he's got on him. He's probably still pretty good, even after retiring for 10 years, but he's got a bad back. I don't think Joel's been at the gym in about 6 months. And I'll hurt myself to win something. So if they want to go and do a fitness challenge, I'll die before I lose. So I'm debating. If they want to do, so like, right, let's do the gym at 9 a.m. My hotel and Rio's hotel are 12 mile apart. Or my hotel, we're in an apartment. So we're 12 mile away from where Rio is. Joel's going to get an Uber there and have like crispy air conditioning all the way there with his sunglasses on, isn't it? You know he is. I might Goggins it and run the 12 mile before we do the gym thing, just to fucking break them before we even start. Because in that heat in Qatar, I will look like I've been in a shower. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking break the pair of them. That's my goal. Yeah, I'm going to fucking absolutely, to coin a Goggins phrase, I'm going to take their fucking souls. I'm going to make them quit just by seeing me walk into the place and be like, right, we're ready to fucking do it or what? Emmett said, did I do that walk today? Yeah. And not 400k today, Jesus Christ. No, I did my last 10 today. Ed says, my 4-year-old daughter's out here playing like Lee Catamole. She chose violence. Fantastic. I love that. Don't calm her down. Just fucking, yeah, cool. Don't tell her off if she does. You need that attitude. Raf, make sure I catch America versus England. We're gonna win that war again. Do you know America? Look, the biggest export that Britain's ever had is Independence Day. You lot think you're fucking special? We don't give a fuck about that war. We had other shit to take care of. James is Martinez our best centre half signing since Vida. Absolutely. IR says just take an Uber and spray yourself with water before you get there. No. That's not how it works. I'll vlog myself doing the run all the way down there. To take us all, you got to do it. You can't pretend to take us all. You've got to fucking do it. And also, I'm still training anyway. I'm trying to pass my army assessment in January. So this month for me is a very, very serious month. I'm fucking having it. Like, they're going to regret saying, let's go to the gym together. Like, oh yeah, all right, sweet. Watch this, you fucking lunatics. Do I think Iran has a chance? No, I don't. I think they're down for... probably it's them or Wales that are coming bottom of the group, I think. Simon, United look very leggy. Second half I think there's a lot of stuff look leggy about United today, in all honesty. But there's a lot of stuff look leggy about United for the last 2 weeks. Premier League's done. There's 5 weeks off for that now. That's the one. Rajat says 3 players I'm looking forward to in Qatar. We might do that before we go. Might do 5. You know the drill. So yeah, we'll see. But I might do that before we go. Da Bean or Dabeen even says, have I seen the Twitter? Oh my God, yes. So I sent this into our little group chat and said, should I do a video on this? And the reply came back with like a massive dose of allegedlys if we do. So allegedly, in fact, no, there's no allegedly needed. Have I seen the Twitter threads on Man City's sponsor 8xBet? Yes, I have. There's no allegedly needed because that's a question. Have I seen the threads? I've seen the threads. LinkedIn account for one of the senior managers that had photos that was from a sex cam model from some website from one of the managers. Right, yes. So it looks like, or it appears to be, that this 8xBet are a complete fucking sham, non-existent company. Around about the same time, Manchester City have just posted absolutely record revenue, overtaking United. So I think that might be something that's worth a fucking deep dive. If you're catching what I'm throwing. Do I think Elanga should be on loan? If you bring somebody else in, I think he'll end up surplus to requirements. IR says, are we making a lot of Patreon content in Qatar? Yes, so I think what's probably going to happen, we did I write it down? I think I've got it on Slack somewhere, but I don't have my notes to hand of what my daily content's going to be. I think, let me see if I can find it because I did write it down. What it's going to be looking like is we're going to try and do some sort of a transfer talk every Monday. Every Tuesday will be some sort of an IMO because there'll always be something to have a waffle about. Every Wednesday we're going to try and do a scout report from a player that either United are linked to or someone that's smashing it at the World Cup. Thursday will be a bit of a World Cup roundup between myself and Ronnie and whatever other guests I can get in. And that might hopefully include a little bit of footage from us going to the games. We will do an XG files on a Friday, which is just me and Ronnie, probably in our apartment, unless we can find a good looking backdrop. Every Saturday there will be a vlog, which is like all the behind the scenes of the stuff that we're doing. And we have got a very special French left back special guest that's going to be doing a lot of content with us. Should we just say that while we're over there? But I don't know what day we're doing that is. So some of this is going to have to move around because of what we've got to do. So when the vlog should be coming out Saturday, they'll be like behind the scenes of stuff. We've got some unreal interviews coming out on 5. So defo keep an eye out for those. And then on a Sunday, I'm going to try and do an interview of someone. So that's like my week. And if that gets copied and pasted all the way through, I think the fitness stuff and possibly the stuff that's a little bit too wild to go on the main one will go out on Patreon. So there'll be a Patreon vlog where we'll also be walking around the streets of Qatar. And the extra that we're going to do is we're going to try and do a Patreon challenge. So everyone that's in Patreon will be talking to you guys about this on... I might put the message in on Thursday. And it'll be... So it might be like 10 take a photo with an Iranian fan. Take a photo with a Japanese fan. Take a photo with an American flag, Joe, or find kiwi ice cream. I want to know what weird shit you lot can come up with as challenges. Let's keep them legal and manageable rather than like steal a yacht. But we're going to try and do some Patreon challenge type shit while we're over there. So that's one of the other ones that we're doing for Patreon as well with myself and Ronnie. Yeah, Gail Clichy, that's who the French left back is, yeah. Peter Kelly says, Operation Get Ronaldo deported. We do have a very good idea that might get Ronaldo deported. But we'll have to see about that one when we do it. Dye my hair blonde for a laugh while I'm there. I've got to find a barber while I'm out there. That will be a part of a vlog and a challenge on its own, I'm sure. But anyway, cheers for tuning in. As always, keep it legal, keep it above board, and something that hopefully doesn't get us deported, at least before England come home. Final super chat there from Brad. We need to sell McTominay, Elanga and Maguire, let Fred go, and let 2 or 3 players we need. Osimhen, Bellingham and a right back. Sounds spendy. Alex Cole says steal a yacht would be good. I'm sure for the 4 seconds it'd be before we got nicked. But anyway, before you do go, Paddock FC played top of the league yesterday, and the highlights have just dropped. If you want to go and check those out, drop me a comment, just say watching after Steve's comment on the video. It's my final game of this year, so I'll be watching like you guys, waiting for the highlights to come out. But nice one for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you've not. If you want to get some of the extra content, check Patreon out. Otherwise, head over to go watch Stretford Paddock FC's latest game, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.